Hi, boys and girls. So today we are going to write our draft of our narrative writing about our Thanksgiving traditions. So we have already started on our brainstorming. You should have had your brainstorming completed from either Monday or Tuesday's writing assignment because I posted the same assignment on both days. So that was on the last slide where you were to write in your brainstorming ideas to answer these questions. So you should have your brainstorming ideas and your notes and right here in this little text box that was on Seesaw. So now you have made your copy of this presentation. So you should have your own copy and you should name it. This is Kelsey's narrative writing. So you should have your name and your narrative writing in the title once you make a copy of it. So I know when you share it with me or you share it with Miss Horstman or Miss Arnold, that they will know whose copy of the presentation is. So once you have your brainstorming ideas into your slideshow, you're going to go on over to the next slide. So this is where we are going to draft our paragraph of our Thanksgiving traditions. So I'm going to think about what we did yesterday as well and how we put together the boxes and bullets. So that was just another way of organizing our thoughts and organizing our ideas that we brainstormed and we worked on Monday or Tuesday. So you were able to do that for yesterday. The top of it was the one box. That was your first box, and that was your topic. That was your topic sentence, or what was going to be your topic sentence eventually. So then you had the little bullets in between your boxes. The bullets were your details, your key details that you're going to have that will make up your paragraph. And then the bottom box is your conclusion or your concluding sentence that will eventually turn into your concluding sentence. So you might not have had some complete sentences in that, which is okay. That was just to get your ideas on, down, and you were able to type those out. So once you had those and you looked at that, it almost looked like the paragraph sandwich that we did last week. So where your topic sentence was the top bun, and then your details were all of the in-between stuff, so the meat and like the ketchup and mustard and lettuce, and then the bottom was your bottom bun where your conclusion was at. So it looked similar. It was just a different way of presenting your ideas and your brainstorming. So now what we're going to do is take that and put that into our paragraph. So first, I'm going to write the date. And then I'm going to hit enter. And remember that we need to indent. And indenting means that you're giving a space before you start your paragraph. So you can either do that by hitting the tab key, which is above your caps locks. And then you can also hit space 5 times if you would like to do that, the space bar. So you just make sure that you have that indentation there, and then you will start with your topic or your topic sentence. So that's going to be our first sentence of our paragraph. So our topic is our Thanksgiving traditions, right? So mine, let's see, I'm going to start off by saying Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays to celebrate because I always spend it with my family. So there's my topic sentence. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because I always spend it with my family. So that's saying that it's a tradition. I always spend it with my family. That's my Thanksgiving tradition. So then I'm going to go into my details about what we do at Thanksgiving, what we eat, and all of those key details that you had in your brainstorming slides. So then I'm going to write about that. So we have a tradition of always having our Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' house. And everyone will come over. So there's one of my details. That's where I'm having my Thanksgiving dinner, and there are people there. There are my family, my parents, my sister, my brother, my aunts and uncles, and my grandparents. So they will come over to our house. And then what will we do there? Obviously, we will eat dinner, watch football, and play games together. We really like to play board games, so we'll eat our dinner and we'll watch football that's on, and then later on we'll get our games out and we'll play some card games or some board games. So then what are we doing for dinner? What are we having for dinner? That's what I'm going to ask that's my next question. So for dinner, we always have turkey, ham, because if you watched my video before, I really love ham, and my mom knows that. I'm not a big fan of turkey, so she always makes me ham, which is amazing. And then we have stuffing. We have mashed potatoes, homemade macaroni and cheese, which is so yummy. And we have corn, and then, of course, pie. So then I'm going to explain, because if you remember, I do not like pie. I am not a big fan of pie, so I'm going to type in there, however, I am not a fan of pie. I usually have my aunt's pumpkin bars for dessert. And that is what I'm eating, and that gives a little detail of, because I'm not a big fan of pie, I kind of wanted to add that in there so it explains what I actually eat for dessert. So then that is my key details. So I included where I was having it, my dinner, where my Thanksgiving, that was one of my Thanksgiving traditions, what we eat for dinner, what we do while we're at dinner, after dinner, while we're there together. And then I just gave a little bit of side details about not being a very big fan of pie. And then I want to write my concluding sentence. So the concluding sentence is just one that wraps up your entire paragraph, that summarizes it basically. So you just talked about, or I just talked about, my family, Thanksgiving tradition. So I'm going to write a sentence about that wraps it up, kind of summarizes that. So I love having a day where my family can be together and celebrate doing our favorite Thanksgiving traditions. So this is my paragraph. So a good writer will go back through and read what they have wrote to make sure that it makes sense, and to make sure they're not missing any punctuation marks or capital letters, making sure that they're indenting, and that they're writing and they have complete sentences. So I'm going to go through and back and reread what I have to say. So Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays to celebrate because I always spend it with my family. We have a tradition of always having our Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' house, and everyone will come over. We will eat dinner, watch football, and play games together. For dinner, we always have turkey, ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes, homemade macaroni and cheese, corn, and of course, pie. And see, I'm going to add and of course. So I'm going to add and in there, and of course, pie. However, I am not a fan of pie. I usually have my aunt's pumpkin bars for dessert. And then my conclusion, I love having a day where my family can be together and celebrate doing our favorite Thanksgiving traditions. So when I go back through that, I see I changed some things. I kind of noticed that it didn't sound right. So that is just an example of what your paragraph should look like. And if you want to add another paragraph, you may go to the next page and continue your paragraph here. If you would like a new paragraph, remember that every time you start a new paragraph, you need to indent. And then, if you would like, there are boxes for pictures. You may Google some pictures if you'd like, or if you have some pictures on your computer that you'd like to add in here, that it would be wonderful. And if you want to put them up here, if you have more than two, if you did not use this space to use for your typing of your paragraph, that is perfectly fine as well. And happy writing!